On a 60-foot vessel, a massive we roam, currently on Ashby on Narrowboat home. Rufus the dog always causing a fuss. We're working remotely, no stresses, no rush.
I'm Andy. I am the self-proclaimed captain of the Narrowboat Massive. Behind the camera is my good wife, Carrie, who is the admiral of our fine vessel. Our channel is about our transition from working, buying a boat, and then working on the boat, and hopefully maybe one day living on it. So it's a bit of an experiment for us. However, it's called a massive adventure, and there's got to be other adventures. And a few months ago, friend and colleague Nick, he sent me a Teams message, and he said, "Do you fancy going to Lviv?" I said, "Oh, not really. I don't really fancy going to Liverpool." He said, "No, look again, Lviv, Ukraine." So I was like, we discussed it, and he told me about this brilliant charity here, Pickups for Peace. This one here, Pickups for Peace. And basically people donate pickup trucks, ambulances, 4x4s, fill in with aid, which is donated by good people. And so I said yes, I jumped at the chance. So we then went into raising funds to buy aid, and some people donated aid straight away, things like medical aid, vehicle parts, winter clothes, and some local businesses donated some clothes, and some hardware stores donated some tools. So basically, filled up with aid. I drove down to Poole to meet my friend. We filled up the pickup truck, and we started on the epic journey to Ukraine. So I want to share that with you because it was an amazing adventure, and it's one of the best things I've ever done. My t-shirt's not ironed. I've got a face for radio, so you won't see much of me, but hopefully you enjoy my video. And all I've used is a smartphone. I'm not an expert at video cutting, so do forgive me. This is the first time I've done anything like this. So let's get on with the massive adventure to Ukraine. As I said, we had so much donations given, thank you very much. So now we had to push and heave and get it into the car before driving down south to meet Nick in Poole. He also had aid. Somehow this aid would have to fit into the pickup truck, so here goes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Truck was now packed up, was ready to go. Let's do this. Leaving from Poole Harbour, we took the ferry to Cherbourg. Captain was back in his happy place. So a quick full English before arriving, and the epic trip starts. In transit across Normandy, I never realised how bloody big it was until we went across. I would have liked a little bit more time to be able to see some of the sights and museums and the famous D-Day beaches, but eventually we started making our way towards the hotel in Liege, and we crossed into Belgium, very tired after our first day, but we'd done it. Another early start, and we crossed from Belgium into the German border onto the famous autobahns of Germany. The roads were long, and to be honest, the scenery was pretty dull. But we had fast roads and good traffic. Obligatory stop at a sign, look where I am. And I know the Germans do like a good tunnel. We left the long straight autobahns of Germany for the long autobahns of Poland, but the scenery in rural Poland was beautiful. The driving was a little bit different here and a little bit more aggressive. We were soon seeing other friends from Pickups for Peace. Pickups for Peace, friends! After a 12-hour journey, we made it to our hotel, very tired. Wow, what a sight. All the trucks were now coming into one place, and the reality was really hitting home. So a good night's sleep before we woke up to a misty morning, ready for our final journey with the trucks. So another early morning, there's a theme here, but we all drove independently towards the Ukraine border where we met at our pre-arranged RV point. Once there, last final checks of the trucks, a little bit of food, and we waited until we finally got the go. Well, hey, we're off, finally. So we're now in convoy towards the Ukrainian border. This is the first time all the trucks had travelled together, and it was a real sight to see. It made the hairs in the back of my neck stand up. Finally, a convoy made it to the Ukrainian border. We had a long wait here as we had to export the cars from Poland into Ukraine. And this is where we started to get to know each other, where we chatted and waited patiently. But finally, we were there. We are across the Ukrainian border. Yeehaw! Exciting! We were now in Ukraine. But nothing could have prepared us for the emotional welcome we was just about to receive. This is the first time it really hit home. These are real people affected by the terrible situation. Meanwhile, at home, our loved ones were seeing a different story.
To home after a major incursion into Russian territory by Ukrainian forces. A state of emergency.
As the trucks had to clear customs individually, we waited about a mile from the border to reform, then started the journey under a police escort to Lviv. Under a police escort, the convoy travelled at speed through the Ukraine towns and countryside, much to the bemusement of the locals, wondering why all these Brits were about. We passed some lovely churches, and you might notice some black and red flags. They are the local regional flags. Using a police escort was certainly one way of beating rush hour traffic. UK to Ukraine in 3 days. We made it. Awesome job. Aid was distributed straight away and the trucks were ready to go to the Eastern Front Line the next day. After parking up, I decided to walk back to the hotel rather than getting an arranged minibus. It was just like any other European city trying to have a normal life. But there were signs that war is going on. I could see sandbags and air raid shelters. Hotels had diesel generators outside. Young couples, the man in army uniform trying to enjoy a bit of downtime. But I am going to return to this city when peace comes. The city parties until 10 o'clock when the bars shut. Then at 12 o'clock there is an enforced curfew where the realities of war return. The next morning we was taken to the local cemetery of heroes. I don't know how to put this into words, it's very emotional. These were soldiers from the local area, some of them were very young. A very sad fact of war. I found this all quite emotional, and being an ex-military man, there's only one thing I could do, put my beret on and pay my respects. The next morning, we officially handed over the trucks.
Detail for those in terms of numbers, because this is a milestone event for us.
Because today we have 400 widows.
Because this is not just Ukraine, Welcome after our victory, welcome to Ukraine. Every year, 10 August, we organize after victory festival week with your family, with your children, with your grandchildren, you know, and we celebration our victory in Ukraine, 10 August, you remember this time.
I couldn't get over how they always talked about victory, nothing else, and how life tried to be normal. After the official handover of the trucks, we were taken on a city tour. We now see a memorial of not those who are dead, but those who are missing, presumed dead or prisoners. Translated, it means we wait patiently. This is where it really started. This is the memorial of a rebellion for independence and dignity. A peaceful demonstration where 114 demonstrators were shot. This was the prelude to the invasion to Crimea. After the city tour, I found beer and vodka, and well, that's really where the story ends. And even for Donkey, got to learn a traditional Navy dancer of something on your shoe. I'll let you work it out.